Okay, what do you do about reaching your goals and planning ahead for the next year when you are in an uncertain environment? A disaster has just struck, or you know you're not going to reach your goals in one area because you're having to do efforts for relief now or something to that effect. So, how do we do any strategic planning in uncertain times at nonprofits? Well, the first thing is that mindset matters. Like, just because certain people in certain zip codes or in a particular region have been affected doesn't mean that you can't talk to the people outside of those zip codes and make sure that they still want to give, right? So even if your immediate area has been impacted by a natural disaster, if you have the ability to message out, there are people that are going to want to help. And so don't let that make you feel like you're all on your own, or that there aren't people who want to give to support your organization at that moment. I think it's also important to make sure that we do very realistic, conservative projections when we are talking to leadership in these moments. Make sure that you are not padding your projections or what you think that you are going to be able to raise. Stay on that conservative side when things are uncertain. And anytime that a disaster is coming or looming or directly after is a time of uncertainty. Stay very conservative in your projections. Stay on that low end. Make sure that you leave room for innovation in your plan. You are going to need to be nimble. You don't have to have everything figured out. You're going to have to innovate your way through it. Maybe you've never done a day of giving. I had never done a day of giving before we did our campus beautification day of giving in 2013. We were raising money to put more live oak trees back on campus because so many had been destroyed. So we didn't know how to do that until we did it. So make sure that you leave some room in your plan for innovation and learning. Have flexible goals. So maybe you're not going to hit your goal for your annual fund that year because you're going to switch your focus to relief and emergency efforts. That's okay. Just make sure that you have documented that and you're very clear with leadership on exactly where those funds are going and why those funds are being diverted into other areas, and that's why you're not going to hit your goal this year. And the last piece is make sure, of course, that you're communicating and engaging with donors as much as you can, understanding that power may be out, communications may be down for a period of time, but anytime that you are able to begin to communicate again, make sure you're talking to your folks. Make sure that they're doing okay. I mean, you may have donors who are impacted by these things, but if they are okay, make sure you're letting them know. Near, dear, and clear are the three things that I always think about. So make sure that they are okay, that they know what is going on with your organization, that they care about, that you care about them and you want them to be okay, and so you're going to be checking in on them as well, and clear about what the organization needs at that particular moment in time. That's very important to keep them near, dear, and clear. Those three things will take you a long way in a disaster situation in communication with donors.